My name is Earl Dawson. I'm 73 years old. I've been a millionaire. I've been homeless. I've been a husband twice, a father 3 times, and a stranger to my own children for longer than I care to admit. I'm not telling you this story because I want sympathy. I'm telling you this because when I was 22, 28, 35, nobody sat me down and told me the truth about life. Not the version they put in movies. The real version, the one with regret in it. So if you're young and you're watching this, I need you to stop what you're doing, because I'm about to tell you everything I wish someone had told me. I grew up in a small town in rural Tennessee. Father was a mechanic. Mother cleaned houses on weekends. We weren't poor, but we weren't comfortable either. We were the kind of family that didn't talk about money, which meant we also didn't understand it. By 19, I had left home. I had $200 in my pocket, a second-hand truck, and more confidence than any 19-year-old has any right to carry. I moved to Atlanta, got a job at a construction company. Within 2 years, I was making decent money for a kid my age, and that's where the first mistake started. See, I started believing that making money young meant I was smarter than everyone around me. I didn't save a dollar. Not one. Every paycheck went to looking good. Nice clothes, a used car that was too expensive for me, taking girls out to dinners I couldn't afford. I thought money was meant to show, not to grow. My father called me one Sunday. He said, "Earl, are you saving anything?" I laughed at him. I actually laughed at my own father. I said, "Dad, I'm young. I got time." He went quiet on the phone. Then he said something I didn't understand until I was 50 years old. He said, "Son, time is the one thing you think you have until you don't." I said, "Okay, Dad," and I hung up, and I forgot about it completely. When I was 26, I met a woman named Patricia. Patricia was everything. She was kind. She was patient. She laughed at my jokes, even when they weren't funny. She had this way of looking at you like you were the most important person in any room, and I married her. We had 2 kids by the time I was 30, a boy and a girl, but I was never home. I told myself I was working hard for them, building something. I took a second job. I started a small contracting business. I was grinding, and I was proud of it. What I didn't realize was that Patricia was raising 2 children almost entirely alone. She never complained. Not once. That was the thing about Patricia. She didn't nag. She didn't yell. She just slowly went quiet. I remember one night I came home at 11 p.m. The kids were asleep. Patricia was sitting at the kitchen table with a cup of tea that had gone cold. She looked up at me and said, "Do you even know what grade Michael is in?" I stood there, in my own kitchen, and I didn't know the answer. She didn't cry. She didn't raise her voice. She just nodded slowly and went to bed. I told myself she was being dramatic. 2 years later, she asked for a divorce, and I was shocked. That's the part that embarrasses me the most. I was genuinely shocked, like I hadn't seen it coming at all. The day she left, she said to me, "Earl, you were never cruel. You were just absent. And absent is its own kind of cruel." I've never forgotten that sentence. Not once in 40 years. After the divorce, I threw myself into work. By 38, my contracting company was doing well. Real well. I had 40 employees, 2 trucks, a nice house. I remarried a woman named Diane. Good woman. Patient woman. I thought I had corrected course. For about 4 years, I was genuinely happy. Then I made the second great mistake of my life. A business partner, a man I'd known for 12 years, a man who'd been in my wedding, came to me with an opportunity. He said we could expand, take on a big commercial contract. All we had to do was take out a loan against the business. I trusted him completely. I should have read everything myself. I should have hired a lawyer. I should have asked more questions. Instead, I signed papers. I didn't fully understand because I trusted a man I thought I knew. Within 18 months, the project collapsed. The contract fell through. My partner, it turned out, had been pulling money out quietly for years. At 51 years old, I lost the business. I lost the house. I owed more money than I had made in the last decade. Diane stayed for a year, but the stress, the arguments about money, the humiliation, the fear, it destroyed us too. I was 52 years old, alone, broke, and sleeping in my brother's spare room. I remember sitting on the edge of that guest bed one night and thinking, how did I get here? And for the first time in my entire life, I had no answer, no excuse, no plan, just silence. The next few years are the ones I skip when people ask about my life. I drank too much, not falling down drunk, but the quiet kind of drinking, the kind where you're functional, but you're numb, where you get through the day, but you're not really in the day. I worked odd jobs. I lost touch with my kids. My son Michael tried to call me a few times. I let it go to voicemail because I was ashamed. I didn't know what to say. What do you say to your children when you've become a man you don't recognize? I was 57 when something shifted. I was sitting in a diner in Chattanooga, alone, as usual, and an old man sat down across from me, not at my table. At the booth next to mine, he was reading the Bible, and when his food came, he bowed his head and prayed out loud, quietly, and the last thing he said was, "And Lord, thank you for another day to get it right." I don't know why that hit me so hard. Another day to get it right. Like every day was a fresh opportunity. Like he genuinely believed that. I sat in that diner for 2 more hours after he left, just thinking. That was the day I stopped drinking. Cold, I didn't go to a program. I just decided that I had wasted enough days. I was 58 when I called Michael. He answered on the second ring. He didn't yell at me. He didn't ask where I'd been. He just said, "Dad, I've been waiting for this call." I cried on the phone like a child. 20 years of distance cracked open in about 30 seconds. We met for lunch the next week. He brought his daughter, my granddaughter, Emma. She was 4 years old. She'd never met me. She climbed into my lap like she already knew me. I cannot explain what that did to me. I got a job managing a small hardware store. Nothing fancy, but I showed up every day. I saved money, something I hadn't done in 40 years. I called my kids every Sunday. I wasn't rich, but I was present. For the first time, maybe ever, I was present. At 65, I retired, moved to a small house in North Carolina. I have a garden. I have Sunday dinners with Michael and his family. My daughter Lisa, we took longer, but we got there too. I have a good life, a quiet life, and I finally understand that quiet is not the same as empty. So what do I want you to take from all of this? I'll make it simple, because nobody has time for long lessons, and I've already taken enough of yours. Number 1, the people in your life will not wait forever. Show up now while they're still there to show up for you. Number 2, money you don't understand will betray you. Read everything. Question everything. Trust is not a substitute for knowledge. Number 3, shame is a prison you build yourself, and the door was never locked. You can walk out any time, but you have to decide to. Number 4, it is never too late to call. Whatever relationship you've let go cold, your child, your parent, your old friend, pick up the phone. They may surprise you. And number 5, and this is the one I want you to write down, being busy is not the same as building something, and being absent is its own kind of cruel. I'm 73 years old. I've made every mistake I've told you about today, and a few more I didn't have time for. But I wake up every morning grateful, because I still have days, and every one of them is another chance to get it right. Thank you for listening to an old man's story. Take care of yourselves, and the people who love you